most people don't know a Percocet is an opiate. So it's okay to say to the emergency room doctor, of course, if they're under 17, do they really need that? Can we try Motrin? And then maybe if he's still in that much pain. I mean, we see it being, they're in a rush, they're busy.
It's amazing when you talk about the over-prescribing of the medication. I was in an emergency room with my wife, and, you know, that exact experience happened where, you know, the type of injury that was sustained was really of a minor nature, but literally in the course of about 5-minute time frame, we were asked, would we like to have a Percodan, you know, prescription to take the pain away? And it was like, we said no the first time because we didn't think it was necessary. Why are you pushing? I mean, I felt really, given the situation we all know about the opiate addictions, that, you know, why are you pushing this opiate, you know, on us, you know, from that perspective. So from a personal experience, absolutely, it is happening.
There's this, you know, I think it's okay to have a little bit of pain. You know, of course, no one should suffer terribly in pain. OxyContin was not supposed to be prescribed ever for anything but cancer. It was never, ever supposed to be prescribed for moderate pain. And the company that put it out, Purdue Pharma, actually pled guilty for mismarketing it back in the late 90s. And they paid a $600 million fine after pleading guilty. I was at their sentencing. And they got probation and a fine, and then they're still out there. So unfortunately what happened back then was that their reps were going to doctors and saying, this is a safe medication to prescribe for moderate pain. So the doctors didn't even know at that time that maybe I shouldn't be giving them this. And I know many, many, many people from around the country. My friend Ed Vanicki, I'll give you an example, and I know he wouldn't mind me using his name because he's a true fighter in this cause. He was away in Kosovo in the military, and while he was gone, his wife had been in a terrible car accident, and she did get injured. She was hurt. And he was away when it happened. When he came back, he did not recognize her. She said she was about 90 pounds. Now, this woman, he said before, was probably, you know, 130 pounds. You know, was healthy woman. When he came back, she was about 90 pounds, and he did not recognize his wife. He started to say, what is wrong?
What's gone wrong?
And you know, he knew she was taking these pain medications, had never heard of OxyContin. He ended up waking up to her being dead beside him of an overdose. So even people who weren't abusing, you know, or experimenting, got addicted to this and lost their lives, or ended up turning to heroin, or, you know, OxyContin is an unbelievably potent drug. It's gotten better since they changed it to the new version. It's still being abused, the new version, but now what we're seeing is another trend, and that's those Perc 30s.
Yes, Perc 30s is out in the streets now.
Yeah, and that's not even a Percocet, it's an oxycodone.
What type of pressure is being put on the pharmaceutical industry that you hear about in relationship to this whole crisis?
Not enough.
Not enough.
Not even close to enough. In fact, I've been to the FDA a couple of times, and it's actually really sad. You would be sad if you went there. You feel like this little ant in this sea of three-piece pinstripe suits with the pads and the things in their ears, and talking numbers, and is this going to get approved? Is that going to get approved? And it's just all complete chaos, and myself and a group of other parents have gone there a few times. We stopped them from approving Paladone, which was going to be even more powerful than OxyContin. That was a victory, but we didn't stop them from putting out the new version without proving that it wasn't tamper-proof. And it is. It can be tampered with.
And when you mentioned the FDA, is the pressure more or less going to have to stimulate from the federal level? Can the states do anything about it on the local level?
It needs to be done by us, citizens.
We as
people in the country, families, young people in colleges that have lost friends. We're beginning to believe that the only people that can really change this is having a massive uproar someday from the citizens, because the communities are losing, people are losing their lives. The people that don't care about what kind of money something brings in, that's the people that can change it. And my dream someday is to have thousands and thousands of people in Washington, D.C. demanding that the federal government does something about this prescription.
About the manufacturing of this particular drug.
This drug and all the new ones coming up from it, because it's a money maker. And it's just what I see.
So as you have done in the last 8 years with Learn to Cope, you have built a force of 3,000 families strong, and you're continuing to build that force as you open new chapters of Learn to Cope open up locally within the Commonwealth, and will expand along that. So, in essence, that wave of rebellion, if I can call it that, is currently beginning to mushroom as we see out there today. And we want everybody out there who may or may not have been afflicted with this addiction to understand that this is a very, very serious issue, and it impacts not only the addict, the families and the loved ones, but it impacts our entire community out there. As I think Joanne mentioned earlier, when you start looking at the crime statistics of what's happening throughout the course of the city and the communities surrounding the South Shore, all of these vehicle break-ins that we read every night, we see on the television. We see some of these, stabbings and shootings that are going on in our neighborhoods that are basically drug-related. Where all of these type of issues are all stimulating from this very serious opiate addiction that's happening out there. And don't sit in the corner. We need your help. We need everyone's help to come out here to change the tide of this serious, serious issue. Joanne, we have about a minute left before we wrap up for our first segment today. First of all, I want to say thank you for being here.
You're welcome. I'm proud of you that you're doing this.
And the things that you and your board are doing out there are phenomenal. I know that we've had a tremendous amount of people reaching out to Peg and I to participate in this program. Future episodes that will include areas of signs to look for in addiction, what we need to do to help our children. I believe we have the Mayor's Office on Opiate Addiction coming in to give us some demonstrations on Narcan. Good. How to use it when you suspect someone may have overdosed. So there's a lot that we can do here, and I want to thank you for being here as our first guest, and tell the audience how they can get in touch with you again at Learn to Cope.
Okay. Yep. We have a website. It's www.learn and then the number 2 cope.org. You can hit contact us, and that email will come directly to me if you need to talk to me. And if you click on Join Us at a Meeting, that shows all of our meeting sites, and we have a lot of good information on the site as far as resources, phone numbers. And if you are a family member and you want to join anonymously, you can, and you can speak to people, and help you out right from the
Can people
home.
make donations to the nonprofit as well?
They can if they would like to. There is a donation button there.
There's a donation
and that would be very nice if they did.
Well, it helps
It helps us keep our packets.
And I know that you've
website.
had several fundraisers over the course of the last year. A terrific one down at the Firefighters Hall in Boston last October was greatly attended by many families that were affected by this deadly disease. And I think I'd like to end here,
Okay.
And invite our viewers to tune in again when our next episode, where we will probably be focusing on signs that you need to be aware of within the home as to whether or not possibly someone in your family is addicted to drugs or possibly playing with the drug environment out there. Thank you very much, Joanne, for being here.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure, and we hope to see you again soon.